Lots of people leaving the Queen's Garden Party today with like nice hats on and everything. Oh my God, there's so many of them, holy shit. In fact, they're queuing up. They can't be going in. They're waiting for taxis, I think. Holy crap, that is the queue to the taxi, no kidding. Oh my God. It's worse than the queue into Wimbledon. What the hell are they thinking, waiting for a taxi there like that? You bloody nerds, what the hell are you doing? Oh well. The reason they're so keen to be here, of course, oh my God, I just did it, I just rubbed my eye. I was watching my film yesterday and I was thinking, keep rubbing my eye, stop rubbing your bloody eye. Okay, I'll do it. Or I won't do it. Yeah, these people have all been to a garden party, meeting the Queen. The Queen's been, you know, congratulating them on how great they are at being civil, you know, civil society and all that. Well, essentially it might provide to them is a feeling that they're in a special club, you know. They get to meet the Queen, they get, I don't know, tea, cocktails, who the hell knows. But it makes them feel like they're part of an elite group of people. And the reason I'm saying that is because that's exactly what the Bilderberg conference is about, which is going on today. I mean, when I get home, after I've edited obviously, I nearly whopped my eye again. There's going to be like live streams and stuff, all the people going into Bilderberg. In terms of how I feel about it, there's a couple of people who are attending Bilderberg this year, which I think are quite interesting. Oh my God, nearly got run down. Oh my God. And once I'm free of all this chaos, I will tell you about it. Oh God. Get me out of this town. Wearing a special chain. So the sort of people that get invited to the Queen's Party, I almost did it again. It's like some kind of nervous tick or something. Rub the eye. They, yeah, they're special people, you know. The special initiates. Those people who get, I mean, let's start from basics here. The Bilderberg group, those who nowadays get invited to the Bilderberg group and the meetings, are not necessarily, you know, the elite globalists of the world. I mean, sure, there are some of those people in there, but a lot of them are just going to be like fledgling initiates who are just interested in pursuing, you know, further things. There's a couple of people that I'm interested in who are going to Bilderberg this year, and they are previous attendees, but it's significant now because they actually have different jobs to what they were doing before. The first being everyone's favourite person, George Osborne. Of course, started off go to Bilderberg as finance minister, and is now attending as editor of the racist bog roll that is the Evening Standard newspaper. He's the editor of a newspaper. Now let me tell you that George Osborne, I'm pretty sure, is a spy. I always keep meaning on doing the documentary that I want to make about George Osborne quite obviously being a spy, and how spies aren't quite how we think they are. Spies quite clearly are most lucrative and successful in the private market now, in the private realm rather than in the public realm, like working for the Ministry of Defence or whatever, or the Office of Navy Intelligence or MI6 or MI5 or anything. I'm sure there's many more spies on planet Earth that work for private industry, and I believe that George Osborne is one of those. He works for a newspaper. That's what they do with spies when they don't have a proper job. They stick them in a newspaper somewhere. And do you think the Evening Standard is going to be talking about Bilderberg and the editor attending? Of course they're not. In fact, the only mainstream media who have talked about Bilderberg at all this year were The Guardian, but that's because Charlie Skelton is writing for The Guardian, and RT, as you might have seen, reporting on it as well. But yeah, what a slimy scum hole is George Osborne. I wouldn't go as far as to say I wish he would die. I'm just going to go part of that sentence and go, I wish he would. The other guy is actually the person I'm really interested in going to Bilderberg, and I need to do more research on him because he's actually I've never come across him before. He's a really interesting guy. He's called Baron Adonis. Andrew Adonis, Lord Baron Adonis of Camden is going to Bilderberg. And I believe he's been before, but as part of like the Labour Party. He was basically a strategist for Tony Blair during the war in Iraq. So he was like number 10's strategist. So he's like sort of partly PR and partly spin and all of this stuff. And he's going to Bilderberg, but his new job is as chairman of the Infrastructure Committee, National Infrastructure Committee. Things like palming off all of the big infrastructure projects to places like Qatar and China and all that kind of stuff. So it's pretty obvious that a guy like Adonis is there for very particular reasons, and that's to basically sell off the United Kingdom on behalf of Brexit. So, you know, he's a temporal lord. He's a fucking time lord like Doctor Who, but more slimy, and went to boarding school and went to Oxford. Grew up in a children's home and then went to boarding school and then went to Oxford and then got into government. I mean, that guy, I mean, it's difficult to say, isn't it? But when you're in care and then you go to boarding school, I mean, there's an insinuation there that possibly you'll end up with some kind of strange emotional conditioning, if you know what I mean. And that guy, he's like, if you're looking for like a fucking sorry, I keep swearing. I just am getting so stressed out this week. He's an agent of the Matrix, basically, is what I was trying to say. Adonis, the infrastructure guy. It's terrifying, really. And it's not that I wish the mainstream media would talk about it more. I really don't give a crap what the mainstream media talk about. It's just that I wish it was more open. I wish more people realised how obvious the insiderism and things like that, like Bilderberg. It's good that more people are learning about it now, and actually looking on the internet and looking at Twitter and all that kind of stuff. People are really waking up. I mean, it is actually happening. People are waking up. They haven't quite got it yet. They haven't quite gone that far down the rabbit hole, but holy crap, they're getting there. And hopefully one day we'll be able to like root out all of these crappy arseholes. Horses. If only they weren't ridden by non-civilian military style staff.